my home where the rivers run, chasing dreams under a blood-red sun. Dust on my boots and the wind in my hair, riding free with nothing to spare. A night so cold where the coyotes cry, beneath the blanket a star-scattered sky. With the saddle my pillow and fire my friend, on a journey that never sees the end. They say a man can't outrun his pain, but I keep riding just the same. Every mile's got a story to tell, through mountain highs and canyon air. Just a saddle and a road, dusty trails where freedom calls, running wild with no place to stay, riding hard through night and day. Ain't no ties, just open plains, the kind of life that drives men insane. A restless heart where dreams grow, just me, my saddle, and the road. Roll by like desert haze, your faces fade like the outlaw's praise. Whiskey nights and worn out songs, a drifter's life where nothing belongs. Met a woman once with eyes so blue, but love don't grow where the cold winds blew. Left her standing by the willow tree, cause the road kept calling out to me. They say the wild can make you mad, take all the good and leave you bad. But I was born to roam this land, a wandering soul with bloodstained hands. Yeah, just a saddle and a road, dusty trails where freedom calls, running wild with no place to stay, riding hard through night and day. Ain't no ties, just open plains, the kind of life that drives men insane. A restless heart where dreams grow, just me, my saddle, and the road. Just me, my saddle, and the road. Been 1,000 miles and 100 towns, never found a place to settle down. The open road's the only friend I've known, a restless heart carved out of stone. Sleeping rough under a sky so wide, firelight flickers where shadows hide. Nothing to lose, nothing to keep, just riding dreams that never sleep. Faces fade like desert rain, names forgotten but scars remain. I ride alone where the coyotes call, a broken man trying not to fall. I'm riding to nowhere, chasing ghosts through the midnight air. The highway sings a mournful tune beneath the stars and a silver moon. Ain't no home that I belong, just the sound of wind and old sad song. The trail is cold, but I can't stay, just riding to nowhere, night and day. Stop by a town where the whiskey flows, plates and cards, but the money goes. Saw a woman with eyes so deep, but love don't grow where promises weep. Left before dawn with the sky so gray. Another town, another day. Dust on my boots and a fire in my chest, searching for something but finding less. They say the road can set you free, but freedom's just a fantasy. A man like me was born to chase a wandering soul with no way home. They say the road can set you free, but freedom's just a fantasy. A man like me was born to roam, a wandering soul with no way home. I'm riding to nowhere, chasing ghosts through the midnight air. The highway sings a mournful tune beneath the stars and a silver moon. Ain't no home that I belong, just the sound of wind and old sad song. The trail is cold, but I can't stay, just riding to nowhere, night and day. Just riding to nowhere. Dust on my boots from 100 roads, miles I've crossed and debts I owe. Fought through storms and days of drought, living a life this world forgot. Every scar's got a story to tell, from gunfights lost to nights in hell. I faced the wolves, I faced the rain, and all I've earned is a weary name. The westward wind knows my sin, carries the echoes of where I've been. Through canyon cold and desert heat, a man survives by hands and feet. Dust on my boots and blood on my hands, running wild through forgotten lands. Trails I roam, towns I burn, lessons lived but never learned. Lost my soul to the cards I play, nights alone where shadows stay. But through it all, one truth remains: dust on my boots and nothing gained. Met a preacher once who offered grace, but mercy's lost on a broken face. Told me to settle, find peace at last, but peace don't come from a haunted past. Fought for gold, fought for pride, but battles leave you empty inside. The whiskey numbs, the fire dies, and all that's left are bitter lies. If I could change, I don't know how. Lost my way, but I can't turn around. The trail moves on, the road runs cold. A restless man will never grow old. Dust on my boots and blood on my hands, running wild through forgotten lands. Lessons lived, but never learned. Lost my soul to the cards I play. Nights alone where shadows stay. But through it all, one truth remains. Dust on my boots and nothing gained. Just dust on my boots. Dust on my boots from 100 roads, miles I've crossed and debts I owe. Fought through storms and days of drought, living a life this world forgot. Every scar's got a story to tell, from gunfights lost to nights in hell. I faced the wolves, I faced the rain, and all I've earned is a weary name. The westward wind knows my sin, carries the echoes of where I've been. Through canyon cold and desert heat, a man survives by hands and feet. Dust on my boots and blood on my hands, running wild through forgotten lands. Trails I've rode, towns I've burned, lessons lived but never learned. Lost my soul to the cards I played. Nights alone where shadows stayed. But through it all, one truth remains. Dust on my boots and nothing gained. Met a preacher once who offered grace, but mercy's lost on a broken face. Told me to settle, find peace at last, but peace don't come from a haunted past. Fought for gold, fought for pride, but battles leave you empty inside. A whiskey knows the fire dies, and all that's left are bitter lies. If I could change, I don't know how. Lost my way, but I can't turn around. The trail moves on, the road runs cold. A restless man will never grow old. Dust on my boots and blood on my hands, running wild through forgotten lands. Trails I've rode, towns I've burned, lessons lived but never learned. Lost my soul to the cards I played. Nights alone where shadows stayed. Through it all, one truth remains. Dust on my boots and nothing gained. Just dust on my boots. Nights like these where the stars shine low, firelight flickers with an amber glow. Whiskey bottle passing through my hands as memories rise like desert sands. The flames dance wild, the shadows sway, faces of friends who've gone away. The road runs long and dreams run dry, but still I I'd chase 'em 'neath the sky. Ain't no map for the life I choose, just dusty trails and worn out boots. The fire burns where the wild winds blow, and whiskey keeps my dreams afloat. Whiskey trails in midnight, chasing dreams that never tire. Lost in the night where the shadows roam, with nothing but stories to call my own. The world's gone quiet, the past still speaks. There's smoky haze and canyon peaks, running on dreams that fade like smoke. Whiskey trails and words unspoken. Met a drifter once by the Rio Grande, swore he held fortune in his hand. Told me tales of gold and fame, but all he carried was a broken name. He raised a glass and laughed so cold, said, "Son, this life don't make you whole." The fire burned out, the night grew thin, and I kept riding where dreams begin. I ride alone where the coyotes cry, beneath the moonlit desert sky. A wanderer lost in the dark, just me and the fire and whiskey spark. Whiskey trails and midnight, was chasing dreams and never tired. Lost in the night where the shadows roam, with nothing but stories to call my own. The world's gone quiet, the past still speaks. There's smoky haze and canyon peaks, running on dreams that fade like smoke. Whiskey trails and words unspoken. Just whiskey trail, midnight fires. The moon hangs low where the shadows creep. The fire burns down where the night runs deep. I sit alone with my worn out pride, just me and guilt and the great divide. I've drawn my gun more times than I've prayed, crossed lines I swore I'd never trade. The road I ride is paved with sin, and ghosts that whisper where I've been. The wind don't judge, the dust don't care, but I'm left broken by the weight I bear. A man can run, but he can't hide from what he's done or what's inside. This is a lowrider's prayer, screaming out to the midnight air. Lord, if you're listening, show me a sign. Guide me home, give me peace of mind. I've wandered lost for far too long, fighting battles where I don't belong. If redemption's real, if hope still lives, then hear the prayer a lost man gives. I've heard the ones who love me true burn bridges I can't walk back through. I buried friends beneath the clay and chase my demons night and day. The whiskey numbs but never heals the pain I feel, the blood I spilled. Just one more chance to start again, to wash away my scarlet sin. There's mercy left for a man like me, lost on trail. can't see. I'm begging you now with all I've got to lift me from this empty lot. Whoa, this is a lone rider's prayer, screaming out to the midnight air. Lord, if you're listening, show me a sign. Guide me home, give me peace of mind. I've wandered lost for far too long, fighting battles where I don't belong. If redemption's real, if hope still lives, then hear the prayer a lost man gives. And just a lone rider's prayer carried on the wind. I hear the call where the wild winds blow, across the plains where the rivers flow, the mountains high and valleys deep, a restless soul that never sleeps. The sun beats down on desert sand, trails I walked across this land, from dusty towns to endless sky. I chase the dreams that never die. The west calls out with a voice so clear, whispering freedom in my ear. I ride alone where the shadows creep, through nights so cold and days so steep. Following winds of the west, oh, where dreams run wild and hearts find rest. Running free where the sky meets land, a cowboy's life, no place to stand. The wind blows strong through endless plains, through stormy nights and burning rains. The world's unknown, the trail's unblessed, but I am on the winds of the west. I've crossed the rivers, climbed the peaks, fought the wolves where shadows creep. I felt the cold of mountain frost and paid the price for what I've lost. The thunder roars, the lightning cracks, but I keep moving, never looking back. The world's so wide and I can't stay, forever drawn to the open way. It's my God, the sky, my friend, through miles of dust that never end. A wanderer lost where dreams are made, chasing the wind through sun and shade. Following winds of the west, oh, where dreams run wild and hearts find rest. Cowboy's life, no place to stand. The wind blows strong through endless plains, through stormy nights and burning rains. The world's unknown, the trail's unblessed, but I keep riding on the winds of the west. Follow the winds of the west. The canyon walls rise high and steep, where shadows dance and echoes creep. I ride along through dust and pain, searching for peace I can't explain. The river winds where the dark mist grows, where moonlight fades and cold wind blows. I've run from ghosts and sins I've made, lost on a trail where dreams decay. The stars don't guide, the night don't heal the scars I hide, the weight I feel. But something calls from deep within, a hopeful peace where dreams begin. Where broken men can heal their hearts, past jagged cliffs and rivers, while I search for solace on the other side. Where the sun breaks free from darkened skies, and the past fades out where shadows die. Through dust and pain my journey bends, seeking peace where the canyon ends. I've fought my battles and lost my wars, scarred by love and driven by flaws. The whiskey burned but couldn't save the restless soul I couldn't tame. I've seen the storm and weathered rain, faced the cold and welcomed pain. But somewhere out beyond this road lies the peace I've never known. They say the truth lies in the land where mountains fall and rivers span. I ride along where the wild wind sings and dreams where freedom rings. Where the canyon ends and the silence starts, where broken men can heal their hearts, past jagged cliffs and rivers, why I search for solace on the other side. Where the sun breaks free from darkened skies, and the past fades out where shadows die. Through dust and pain my journey, seeking peace where the canyon ends. Just riding where the canyon ends. Born with the fire of the open plain, chasing horizons, riding through rain. Never could stay where roots run deep, my restless heart don't ever sleep. I've walked through deserts and climbed the hills, wandered the valleys where time stands still, left towns behind like dying flames, for the dusty road that calls my name. The wind don't judge, the night don't lie, I follow stars across the sky. The trail runs cold, but I can't turn back, lost on this endless broken track. The dusty road calls my name, through empty plains and burning rain. No place to rest, no place to stay, just riding on where shadows play. The wind's my guide, the night's my friend, chasing dreams that never end. Nothing to lose and no one to blame, just me and the road that calls my name. I've met good men and I've made mistakes, loved and lost for freedom's sake. whiskey nights and outlaw songs, the kind of life that don't last long. But peace don't live where the wild wind roams, and I've never found a place called home. Just endless dust and skies of gray, where dreams get lost and fade away. They say the road will steal your soul, break your heart and leave you cold. But I keep riding all the same, drawn to the sound of the wind and rain. The dusty road calls my name, whoa, through empty plains and burning rain. Whoa, no place to rest, no place to stay, just riding on where shadows play. The wind's my guide, the night's my friend, whoa, chasing dreams that never end. Nothing to lose and no one to blame, just me and the road that calls my name. Just me and the road that calls my name. The sky turned black where the thunder rolled, lightning cracked like a tale retold. I rode through rain that cut like knives, fighting for dreams that never die. The wind howled fierce, the night ran cold, dust and fear tried to break my soul. But I pressed on where the wild winds blow, through storms and shadows I'd find my road. Ain't no quit in a heart that bleeds, ain't no rest till I'm finally free. Through all the trials I've endured, I keep on riding my will ashore. Through storms and shadows I ride, chasing dreams where the wild things hide. Whoa, whoa. Through darkest nights and burning days, I'll find my way through dust and rain. The world grows cold, but I won't yield. I'll find my strength where pain won't heal. Lost and torn, but never swayed. Through storms and shadows I made my way. I've crossed the rivers, I've climbed the peaks, walked through fires that scarred me deep, faced the wolves where the shadows creep, and learned to stand when I couldn't speak. I met strangers kind and foes so cruel, betrayed by greed, taught by fools, but every scar's a badge I bear, proof of battles fought out there. They say the night will steal your soul, break your spirit and leave you cold. But I found peace in fighting through, 'cause strength comes from what you can't undo. Oh, through storms and shadows I'll ride, chasing dreams where the wild things hide. Through darkest nights and burning days, I'll find my way through dust and rain. The world grows cold, but I won't